Alexander Mitrovic is still out with a hamstring injury. The album there for the players of Al Oqdoud, a greeting there between the two coaches, George Jesus and Stepian Thomas. Today's match officials are from Romania, led by referee Marian Barbu, whose most recent game before this was in the UEFA Europa League last week between Riga and Ajax. The video assistant referee, Ovidiu Hatigan. As for the visitors, Al Oqdoud welcome back Mali international striker Ibrahima Kone after suspension in preference to Salih Al Abbas. Said Al Rubai and Hussein Al Zabdani are added to the back line, while Knowledge Musona comes into midfield with Awad Kamis Petros and Juan Sebastian Pedrosa, all absent today. So we're almost ready to go in this fixture, and what a tough one for any team heading to the Kingdom Arena. A 100% record for Al Hilal. 8 wins from 8, the success they've had this season. 14 wins from the opening 17 matches, much of it built on the success on home soil. And it's hard to construct a scenario where Al Oqdoud will get the better of the champions today.
Yeah, it really is, and actually that defeat for Al Hilal to Al Qadisiyah almost makes it even worse, because it sharpens the focus for Al Hilal. So I think today it's almost like a wounded animal. They'll come out all guns blazing just to show why they are top of the league.
Yeah, they're going to need to be on their A game today, Al Oqdoud, I think. But as we've mentioned, they have won 3 matches away from home. They've avoided defeat in exactly but they are only 1 point above the relegation zone. I'm sure they won't be fazed by that. This is a team who stayed up by 1 place and a single point at the end of last season.
But still, you'd rather be out of the situation if possible, in terms of, when you mention, when it's so close, 1 point, a draw could be massive, and it's the same with the goal difference. And you mentioned against Al Hilal, Al Fatah, how they conceded so many goals late on. So again, that will be a contributor to Al Oqdoud.
Marcos Leonardo gets the match underway. And in the lilac strip, their change strip today, Al Hilal kicking from right to left in the first half. Khalidou Koulibaly, who's got Hassan Al Tambakti alongside him today in the heart of defence. It's the 4th time that Al Tambakti has started in the league so far this season. He's in possession at the moment. He played 90 minutes in the last game. Ali Al Boulai's missing today. And here's Moteb Al Harbi on the left-hand side, in for Renan Lodi, who picked up an injury in that last game and is unavailable for this one today. But an early attacking opportunity perhaps here for Al Oqdoud, and played across by Basagog to the far side. Early pressure on the Al Hilal goal, and Al Tambakti steps in to try to halt the advances of Musona, the Zimbabwean.
And you see, in terms of that aggression by Musona, just maybe a little bit, too far to that aggressive side for the referees like him, but nice, direct, tries to get the ball in the box. But you see initially how Al Oqdoud, they were so compact, the 5 at the back, you saw the shape really precisely, but then going forward they were very direct, and that's going to be a pattern of the game for them.
You say 5 at the back, and the rest, I think, won't it, at various points during this game? It'll have to be.
Yeah, of course it will, because Al Hilal, they've got that much threat all over the pitch. It's not just about, the forward line, Leonardo, and then that forward 3 in behind Milinkovic, Savic, Ruben Neves has got such fantastic technique on the ball, and João Cancelo as well. He adds assists to this team, so every player in this 11 has a threat. George Jesus, by the way, just looking at the stats before the game, since he's been at the club, an 85% win rate. It's extraordinary. Great coach, but what a record he's got with Al Hilal.
They're on the attack here as it's into the middle, and Al Dawsari swings his right leg at the ball. It's headed away by Al Muwad to Godwin on the far side, and Saviour Godwin. But the host dominating the early exchanges. This is Milinkovic-Savic. It's fallen cut nicely here for Salim Al Dawsari.
Hits the side of his foot and drags it wide, but it's a big opportunity for someone of his quality.
Yeah, absolutely. A really good chance there in the opening couple of minutes or so, and Al Dawsari still looking for his first goal since the middle of October in the league anyway. Ball played up towards Saviour Godwin, but away come the hosts once more. Swiftly across. I think his return is captain. Missed the opening matches following the restart after the month-long winter break. That's a poor ball by Al Zabdani. On the bench last week, Al Rubai, but back in the team today, and Al Hilal were a bit too quick with the free kick there for the Romanian referee. In the month from a knee injury, Milinkovic-Savic rolls it in invitingly. And from close range, it's a debut goal for Caio Cesar. What a start to his career in Saudi football. It's taken him less than 5 minutes to score. Al Hilal into an early lead against Al.
That's brilliant to see, isn't it? The celebrations with all his new teammates, and they know how fantastic that is for him to get off the mark so early in the game. But it's almost a bit more by luck than judgment that it falls to him. It's a fantastic reaction to the ball, though. It's driven across. I think that's a shot that goes wrong, to be quite frank, but the fact that he can sort his feet out quickly and just side foot that into the back of the net. It's a fantastic start for his Al Hilal career, and it's a fantastic start to the game for Al Hilal.
Oh, what a way to introduce yourself to the home crowd. Hello everybody, here I am, 1-0.
Yeah, it's brilliant from Caio Cesar, but as I say, it's the fact of how quickly he reacts. It for me is brilliant.
You think it was a rotten shot from Murtab Al-Harbi?
Yeah,
it worked out well. Exactly,
but you know, sometimes you need a little bit of luck, and especially when it's on your debut. How nice is that?
Well, it's exactly what Al Oudud were hoping to avoid, isn't it? Conceding that early goal.
The thing is as well, they did so well, Al Hilal, because they were so compact. There was almost, I think, there must have been 10 players behind the ball. So many players, but Milinkovic-Savic is so clever, and he peels out to that left-hand side, and Al-Harbi cross-come shot out, or maybe lighten the blow, give him the benefit of the doubt, but either way, it's the way that they managed to get into the box, Al Hilal, when there's so many numbers there, is very impressive.
Well, Murtab Al-Harbi has never scored a goal for Al Hilal, so you never know. But here they come again now, and Milinkovic-Savic into the penalty area, and Al Rubai safely sees it back to Paulo Vitor, the Brazilian goalkeeper. Managed a clean sheet in their last away match against Al Riyadh, winning by 2-0, their third away success of the season. And already they've got work to do here, but they're going about it in very confident fashion. That was Ibrahima Kone into the penalty area. That looked promising for Al Oudud for a minute.
Yeah, it really did. I think he tried to take that extra touch, get himself into the box, and I just wonder whether he could have taken that shot on earlier.
Bit of space here now for Al-Harbi, and Al Dawsari on the near side trying to get away from Al Zabdani. They're looking hungry and rather relentless today so far in the early exchanges, Al Hilal. It looks as if they were stung by that defeat the other day.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, I think maybe Al Dude were looking at that thinking, you know, this might spell something, you know, quite bad for us in terms of, as I mentioned, the reaction when you're a team that's so successful and, you know, really gone expected to win a game and lose the way they did that. I think it was 90+3, wasn't it, that late goal? And it spells a reaction in the camp, and I think we're seeing that in these early stages for Al Hilal.
Yeah, there's going to be pressure from all sides. Obviously, Al Ittihad have been matching them stride for stride. It was a missed opportunity, wasn't it, for Al Hilal? I'm sure Al Ittihad is saying the same thing last weekend. Both of them ended up losing.
Yeah, and you couldn't really call it, could you? See that, and as you say, you think Al Hilal are then going to get themselves ahead, but that's football.
Back with Ruben Neves here. Was Al Harbi getting well forward down the near side?
Whether that's something that Al Hilal have looked at in their analysis, but the left-hand side, it seems to be fruitful for them in these early stages.
Well, Al-Zabdani, who's playing as a right-back today, it's his 6th start of the season. He's one of those coming into the team. His last start was the first game after the winter break, earlier in the month. There's the player who scored the goal, the debutant, Caio Cesar, the young Brazilian. Salim Al-Dawsari preparing to take this corner kick. Opportunity to work it away now. Xavier Godwin forward. He was looking for Christian Basogog on the near side.
It's not a surprise. As soon as they get the ball, Al Dude, they're trying to be very direct, trying to catch Al Hilal out on the transition, but when you do that, you have to be precise with your passing, you have to be clinical.
It's Ruben Neves, who's just tucked in alongside Sergej Milinkovic-Savic at the start of the game today, and towards Marcos Leonardo, who was challenged by Naif Asiri. As you say, Courtney, they're trying to be direct and to break quickly. And Basogog, who scored one of the goals against Al Rayed, sends it over, and it was just out of reach for Kone. Godwin getting up well, but plenty of home defenders back, and Ruben Neves with a little bit of time to bring Al Harbi into the play. He's got Milinkovic-Savic here now in possession. Al-Dawsari combines, Moteb Al Harbi with the return ball. It's Salem Al-Dawsari, and a little deflection takes it straight into the gloves of Paulo Vitor. It's quite an open end-to-end game so far.
Yeah, it isn't. I just saw a low slip there, so you're wondering, is that going to be fatal? But luckily not for Paulo Vitor, he can come and collect that. So it's very open. It's surprising me, actually. Al Harbi there, when Al Dude were going on the attack, he steps out, and I don't know why he does. He gets caught out with that ball in behind, so they'll be looking at that for an area to exploit, Al Dude.
They've gone with the 3 main figures at the back. In the middle, Damien Lowe, the Jamaica international, Said Al-Rubai and Naif Asiri. Al-Zabdani on the right-hand side, Al-Said on the left. Just doing their best to create a white-shirted defensive shield, but it was almost punctured again there as it was played forward in towards the goal scorer, Caio Cesar. This is João Cancelo, having a good run at the defence. Al-Said backpedaling again. There's been quite a bit of that in the opening 10 minutes from him. Milinkovic-Savic. Al Hilal looking menacing every time they venture forward. But again, the attempt at the quick break, and it doesn't quite come off for Al Dude. And Basogog, well, he's puffing and blowing a bit because he's having to sprint every couple of minutes here, but one of those passes forward might just work.
And I think that's the area in terms of the way that Al Harbi's going forward, adding to the attack.
That was Malcolm now bustling forward. Milinkovic-Savic. Al-Dawsari into Malcolm. Oh, he got right underneath that. Didn't get a deflection on the way through.
I thought it might have done it. Looks like it changed direction, but a lovely little chip ball, wasn't it, by Milinkovic-Savic into his captain.
George Jesus not overly impressed with that effort from Malcolm, who's been in good goal-scoring form recently. He's picked things up a bit. 3 goals in the last 3 matches, a couple in the last home game, a 4-1 win over Al-Weda. 6 goals for the season for Malcolm, but he scored 23 last season in all competitions, so he's been a little bit off that, but coming into form more and more as the season is wearing on. If you've joined the match a little bit late, Caio Cesar, young Brazilian making his debut for Al Hilal, scored after just 4 minutes to give us the 1-0 scoreline.
See there again, Al Harbi steps up.
Tambakti just there in the nick of time, but Basagog is not giving up, and here he is, faced by Moteb Al Harbi, whipping it in, and it's just beyond Godwin.
Just don't know why Al Harbi is going at the points where he's going to, when they're out of possession. Al Hilal, and he's trying to step up, but he's in no man's land.
Goodness me, it's constantly going from one end of the field to the other, this one. Back with Malcolm, Milinkovic-Savic. Oh, what a lovely pass that is to Al Dawsari. The block is made in towards Cesar. The opportunity for Al Muwallad to get it away. Here's Basagog. From Musoma away to Saviour Godwin over on the far side of the field. Fancies this. Encouragement there from the coach on the touchline, Stepian Thomas, in his first season in charge of Alok Dud.
Well, it's, in terms of the play starts, it's a big ball out to the right-hand side initially, out to Basagog, and then the big switch to Godwin. So in terms of that, it will work, because the way that Al Hilal play, they're compact, they like their wing backs to get forward, so if they can do that quickly but then have the end product on the shot, it could be a way forward for them.
They're having a go at every opportunity, aren't they, Alok Dud, whilst trying to be conservative and quickly getting bodies back behind the ball when they need to, and they need to now, I think, as Al Dawsari slides it in. That's Marcos Leonardo who's challenged. Referee with a very clear view, feeling there was no foul. The Brazilian staying on the ground at the moment. They're all looking for a flag. But racing forward now is Ibrahim Akone. Been quite a tussle with Al Tambakti, and finally I think the flag does go.
Yeah, and you just see Basagog there in the bottom of the picture. He's really not happy, because initially he's saying calm down. I don't know if you can see him on this one. He's saying calm down, calm down. That's obviously offside, and then he's so frustrated because he's saying let's calm down, let's keep the ball. That's probably because he's constantly having to do 60-yard sprints down that right-hand side.
They're not a side that have been conceding hatfuls of goals, Alok Dud. Paulo Vitor, the goalkeeper, has played in every match. He's conceded 26 goals in the 17 they've played so far. So for a team in the lower reaches of the table who've not long got out of the bottom three and are just out of the bottom three by a point, they're keeping things reasonably tight. Here they come again with Basagog, and well, he got that all wrong. He had options as well.
Yeah, it's a real shame. As you say, he had options up with him. Al Zabdani had made the big overlap on the right-hand side.
This is Caio Cesar. I've been playing with Vitória Guimarães in the Portuguese league. Regular contributor for them during the season so far before making the move. And here he is now. It was a well-timed challenge from Mohamed Al Saeed. Musona, but just beaten by the pace of that pass, and it's sent forward by Ruben Neves.
Did really well initially, Neves, to read the play, to intercept the ball, but had a little bit more time on his hands than I think he appreciated.
The one thing that we've come to know you can almost guarantee is that if you're watching an Al Hilal good effort as well.
It's an incredible statistic, isn't it? Malcolm nearly adding to his tally again, does well, it opens up for him and forces a good save from the goalkeeper, Paulo Vitor.
Yeah, really good effort there from Malcolm. Salim Al-Dalsri with this corner. Again going for that near post area, just as he did with the last one. Bit of space for a cross here. Milinkovic-Savic whipping it in. Sona away, Basagog challenged, and it'll be a free kick for Al-Hudud. A foul by Motiv Al-Harbi. How do you think Stepian Thomas will be feeling about his team's efforts so far?
Yeah, look, he'll be disappointed with the goal, there's no doubt about that, but they've had their opportunities going forward, especially down that right-hand side. He'll just be asking them to be a bit more precise and clinical when they get there, because as I said, Al Hilal, they won't give you a lot of chances, but actually Al-Harbi's really wanting to get forward on the Al Hilal left, so if you can exploit that space that he leaves, give them good opportunities.
Even if they don't manage to get back on level terms in this match, they want to keep it as tight as possible, because with the league being so tight, who knows, come season's end, goal difference could be key as well.
Yeah, exactly, and that could be absolutely vital. So, as you say, it's not just about today, it's not just about the end result in terms of the 3 points or not. There's more at stake than that, so this is where you have to really delve deep into it as a manager and think about all the permutations.
Al-Dalsri on the end of that one. It's collected here by Koulibaly. And now with Ruben Neves looking for Marcos Leonardo, who's just struggling to get into the game in the opening 19 minutes so far. He's been absolutely brilliant in recent weeks in the absence of Mitrovic.
It was similar actually for Leonardo in the Al Fateh game. Ended up scoring a hat-trick, didn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, earlier in the game he was quite a passenger.
This is Malcolm, and still super play from the Brazilian, and then the attempted cross from Cancelo.
Disappointing that from Cancelo, is normally so good from those areas, gets his positioning spot on. A lot of numbers in the box, Al Hilal, but the lack of quality on the ball there cost him.
Just kept in. Caio Cesar. Cancelo. Malcolm's in space and now in possession. Sliding it through. Super play. Little sidestep there from Milinkovic-Savic. Cleared away at the last moment.
That ball by Malcolm was absolutely wonderful. The weight of pass was absolutely exquisite.
It was Naif Asiri with the important clearance. He's got work to do again now with his defensive colleagues as the header comes back in and swept away by Asiri. Straight onto the head of Al-Tambakti. Well, what a ride it's been and continues to be for those home fans watching this team. So successful, so much great football for them to enjoy, and so much to look forward to between now and the end of the season as well, as Caio Cesar sends it forward. Lovely turn. João Cancelo. Malcolm tries to get the shot away, and Al-Hudud are just hanging on a little bit at the moment.
Oh, it's a mixture.
And the flag finally goes up. A little bit of confusion at the back there. Panic stations.
Yeah, it wasn't the best, but I think there's a mixture of maybe Al Hilal wanting to do a little bit too much, score the perfect goal, not get the shot off quick, and Al-Hudud are getting so many numbers behind the ball, so something's got to give for Al Hilal at some point. If they want to score more goals, they've got to get those shots off quicker.
Yeah, a little bit of encouragement there from the crowd to for their team to get back to winning ways after that added time defeat in the last match. Swept across the field by Al Said. Here comes Basagog. It just got away from Hussein Al Zabdani. And a little reminder of what they're all aiming for today.
It's always the expectation, is it, with Al Hilal, but especially at home, got such a fantastic home record. 3
points would be just the ticket for Al Hilal. As for 24 hours at least, it would take them 3 points clear of Al Ittihad, who are playing tomorrow. matches on the card today. Alfea and Al Tawil's goalless in that one. It was an earlier kick-off than this one. And a little bit later on, Al Ettifaq hosting Al Shabab. Al Ettifaq having parted ways with Steven Gerrard at home tonight. An impressive, colourful scene behind the goal. Milinkovic-Savic. Now it's with Malcolm. A little flick back into the penalty area. Leonardo going for it. It was Caio Cesar trying to send it back into the 6-yard box.
Yeah, he's been really bright, hasn't he, Caio Cesar? And you know, when you're on your debut and score a goal early, obviously that will do that for you in terms of the energy. But he's looked good after that as well.
Al Dawsri with a little flick, while at the same time trying to avoid the challenge of Hussein Al Zabdani. Koulibaly's there, ahead of Godwin, who looked a bit frustrated there. He feels like he's banging his head against a brick wall, I think, at the moment. Yeah,
and I think for the last 5 minutes it's been really dominant by Al Hilal. Before that, even though they were still leading, it was quite open and transitional. Al Oqdoud getting their chances to go forward, whereas the last 5 minutes, that's certainly changed in my opinion.
Yeah, the champions are asserting their authority in the opening quarter of this game, midway through the first half here now. And there's a little bit of statistical evidence to back it up.
Yeah, the momentum is swinging in the home side's favour, but been there in this sort of situation. Try and hold it up, give your teammates opportunity to come into the game, and it is really frustrating, but you've still got to do all the things right to hopefully try and get yourself back into the game.
The next two matches, by the way, for Al Oqdoud are at home. They're playing Al Ettifaq on Saturday, and then they host Damak on Thursday the 13th of February. Al Dawsri has done well there, challenged by Al Said.
Did really well, because I don't think that ball was actually meant for him, even though the run was fantastic. I think initially it should have, that was the ball that Milinkovic-Savic should have looked for, but great recovery run from him to keep it in and win the throw-in.
The opportunity to clear, nearly wasted. Here's Al Tambakti. Milinkovic-Savic, a really good season from him. Second season in the Saudi Pro League. There'll be a free kick there. Ibrahim Okone back in the team today. He was sent off in the win against Al Rayed. That's not a great challenge there on Ruben Neves at all.
It's not. It's really late. It's high as well, and I wonder that the referee's got the yellow card in his hand, ready to show it to Kone.
So, yellow card there for the Mali international.
He's trying to argue his cause, but for me there is no argument to be had. He doesn't get anywhere near the ball. It's late and it's mid-shin. There's nothing that I think can help him in that situation with the referee.
Milinkovic-Savic. Al Dawsri getting busy in the middle of the field, but well won there by Al Rubai. Into Xavier Godwin. Looking to switch it. Basagog being asked to go on another one of those long sprints. We've seen plenty of those in the first half an hour of the match. But that was tidy defending by Al Harbi.
Yeah, he recovers really well, doesn't he? Uses his angles to make the run on the inside channel just to make his life a little bit easier.
Excellent play. Really good from Al Hilal. Caio Cesar having a run at the defence and just pushed it a fraction too far. But the attack's still alive. It's going to be a corner.
Yeah. Paulo Vitor does really well here because he's out quickly. I think he recognises that it's a bit of a heavy touch. You see the goalkeeper there initially wants to come. He comes back. But then it's the heavy touch there that he recognises to pounce on by Caio Cesar.
Certainly looks a signing who's got something to contribute though, doesn't he?
He looks really bright. Bit of a flair player, loves the ball at his feet to try and take people on, commit people.
It's Ruben Neves on the far side. To Cesar. Neves' delivery, high and deep. Milinkovic-Savic is penalised by the referee. I think it's fair to say Al-Rabai looked pretty pleased to have got himself a free kick there, smiles all round.
Yeah, and I think that's why, you know, both players are seeing the funny side.
Distance on that kick again from Paulo Vitor, bouncing off the boot of Basagog, who looks a little frustrated.
Yeah, well, he does all right with that, actually, and I think he's expecting someone to be underneath him so he can make that set. I think that's a big ask for Kone to come across and do that, because as the centre forward, you've got to occupy that central space.
Xavier Godwin with a challenge, which has left João Cancelo in some considerable pain. Looks like he really felt that.
He did, and you can
right
see
on the top
there,
of his foot there.
Right, it's late again, right on the top of the foot. It is a painful one there. I mean, there's a lot of screaming now whether he's maybe got a bit of a niggle or a bruise there already. Might explain why he's found it quite so painful.
You can do a metatarsal in a situation like that.
It's very true. And Malcolm there's playing peacemaker, just say, look, you've just leave it, you've made the foul.
Well, let's be honest, it was a poor challenge, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was really late, and you can see why Cancelo was quite upset with that. As you say, Malcolm trying to play peacemaker with it, you've got to leave those decisions to the referee.
Tell you what, João Cancelo's not about to forget that challenge in a hurry, is he? I think Xavier Godwin's card is marked by the Portuguese defender there now.
Yeah, definitely.
He's like, yeah, I'll be seeing you later on at some point. To be continued. We'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah, definitely. Next time Godwin gets the ball, I think Cancelo might be charging at him.
Well, we're half an hour in. We had a goal in the 4th minute of the game from Caio Cesar, the debutant for Al Hilal. It's the only goal we've seen so far. Al Oqdoud hanging in the match, getting forward when they can, but defending in great numbers here. A decisive attempt to get the ball from Vitor, the goalkeeper. Referee from Romania, quick to call for some assistance. I think it was the goalkeeper coming out who caused the problem there.
I think that's why.
Oh, that does look pretty painful.
It just completely takes out his
Damien Lowe is on the end of that.
centre half, and it's one of those, it's, you say to your goalkeeper, if you come in, come and take everyone out with it. Doesn't matter who it is, ball, teammate, opposing player, but when it is your
Cleaned
teammate,
his own teammate out, didn't
yeah,
he?
it's
landed on top of him as well. Looked really painful, actually.
that's a real painful one, and can see, I know Al Hilal, they'll be disappointed because they'll think, why have they stopped it? It's not our foul that's been made, but you've got to think of player welfare in that situation. He's obviously in a lot of pain.
So a couple of stoppages in quick succession. Here's the goal. Quick reaction from the debutant there.
Caio Cesar does ever so well there. It's just the way that he opens up his hips and his body, and it's just guiding it towards goal more than anything. Al Harbour, you can see that the power that he puts through the ball, I think he's trying to find that bottom right-hand corner of the goal, but finds his teammate instead and gets the right outcome.
Stepan Thomas, he was a good player as well, actually. Had a strong career, 49 caps for Croatia, and joining the team to coach them last summer. This is his first season in the Saudi Pro League. And at 1-0, half an hour in, I think Al Okdoud won't be too unhappy with the way the match is going. What have you made of Al Hilal's performance in the opening half an hour, bearing in mind they were beaten for the second time this season in their most recent match?
I think he's very aggressive, which is I expected in terms of that reaction from being beaten unexpectedly to then coming here at home where they've not lost and almost wanting to put a show on and prove a point. They've been very aggressive. They've been great down the left-hand side particularly. But Al Okdoud, especially probably in the first 20 minutes or so, I thought they were good on the transition as well and looking to exploit. But just, you see, as the half has gone on, they've come back a little bit, wanting to protect sort of what they've got in terms of, you know, not wanting to concede more goals. I think they'll try and do this to the break, to half time, and then maybe try and be a bit more expansive in the second half.
By the way, Al Fair and Al Tawoun have drawn 0-0. That match has finished. That was the early kick-off today, so no goals in that one. Just the one so far in our featured match. Al Hilal on the front foot, Salim Al Dalsari. That's Milinkovic-Savic nearby. Neves. Al Harbi on the near side. Here he is now, faced by Al Zabdani. They've been free scoring at home, Al Hilal. 9 against Al Fateh, 4 against Al Weda in the last couple of home matches. It was Koulibaly with the pass forward. Malcolm away to Neves. Patient approach from the league leaders. Level on points at the start of play with Al Ittihad, leading on goal difference. A goal difference that's 10 better, mainly thanks to the Al Fateh game, really. That's the biggest difference between the two sides so far this season. A little over 10 minutes to go to half-time. We'll have some added time for sure before the interval. That's Malcolm away to the far side. Cancelo. And still a twist, a turn and a deflection that, well, it could so easily have ended up in the back of the net there. Al Rubai in the right place to make the block.
Yeah, could have gone absolutely anywhere, but Cancelo here does so well, chopping and changing, different directions, not sure which way he's going to settle on, and gets the shot off, and it looked goal bound to me, apart from that deflection.
It certainly wouldn't have been a surprise to see the net bulge after that effort from João Cancelo. Here's Ruben Neves, going towards Kalidou Koulibaly, headed on by Basagog. And back with Koulibaly. Neves always available for that short pass. Now in possession once more. Milinkovic-Savic makes the darting run to try to receive the return ball, and Rubai was wise to that and able to get there.
He's been really expressive though, hasn't he, Milinkovic-Savic, in that sense, whether it be down the left-hand side or the right-hand side. He's really tried to progress forward from midfield a lot more than I've seen him more recently.
I'm just wondering whether that's Damien Lowe, the player who was injured in the challenge with the goalkeeper, or whether it's another problem that they've got now. It is Lowe who's down.
You can't help but think that is from the initial collision with his own goalkeeper, Paulo Vitor, and it's a shame for him, but he does look in some real pain.
It does. I'm not sure whether it's a hip or a lower rib or what, but it looks really painful.
See, the reaction is not happy, and every player hates to be injured, and I think that's what you're seeing here.
And Rubai, the captain there, just with some comforting words, just calming his teammate down.
Just seeing there the buggy coming on. There's not too much in that there, but is it just, as I say, the fallout from the initial collision with his goalkeeper? Tried to play on and just realised that
it's probably to do with that earlier collision with the goalkeeper, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. The way that he's just in the pain, and that that happens as a player, but you try to play on, see if, give yourself 5 or so minutes, can you run it off? Does the adrenaline take over? But in this point for Lowe, it doesn't look like it has.
It doesn't look like they might have to make a change, but he's been on a good run of... he's just been getting a run going, actually, in the team. 5th match in a row, but they are going to make a change. Mohamed Al-Qaidi is going to have to come on, a player they signed from Al-Fayha last year. He's a central defender. Actually, he started 10 of the league games so far this season, so he would settle straight back in, but determined to walk off the field under his own steam. Damien Lowe, the Jamaica international. Well, let's hope that that's not a major problem that he's got there, and whilst his race is run for today, let's hope that he's not out for long. So Lowe, it would appear, is leaving the field, and it does rather look as if he's not going to be coming back on.
And you said about the fact that he's just starting to get a run in the team, and that frustration, the hitting the ground, some of it will be the pain, but some of it, I say, in the back of his head, he'll know that he's had a good run in the team. You don't want to get injured while you're progressing, and that's why, another reason why he'll be so upset.
So they're down to 10 at the moment. I'll keep an eye on that for you. Just the 1 goal in the game up to this point. Hassan Al-Tambakti is Al-Harbi. Al-Dawsari. Good combination. Didn't quite fall for Caio Cesar, but very nearly did. Now, can Al Abdoud create an opportunity between now and half-time? Get themselves back on level terms in this match. Plenty of attacking intent whenever the opportunity arises, but nothing really for Yassine Bono to do in the home goal so far.
It's particularly been Kone and Basagog that have looked the brighter, but without really troubling the Al Hilal goalkeeper, Bonu.
Basagog was just sent to the floor there by a little nudge from Al-Tambakti. And she's just trying to point out to the assistant on the near side. Here come Al Hilal. Joao Cancelo. Away from Aid Mawalad. Really good play, and Mawalad able to slide in and put it behind for a corner. I think he's injured himself in the process, but more good play from Joao Cancelo.
Yeah, he looks really bright, doesn't he, down the right-hand side. I've just noticed as well, Damien Lowe's come back on, he's slotted back in, so interesting to see what happens with him. I imagine he'll try and stay on the pitch for this half and then get more medical intervention at half-time.
Desperate to keep that run going in the side, and there's Lowe, just conversation with the referee saying, no, not ready to go off at the moment, I'm going to give it another go. Ruben Neves with this corner. Keeper thought about coming, thought better of it. Opportunity to clear it away. This is Knowledge Musona. He was looking for Godwin. Back with Neves. More defending to do for Al Abdoud, and that was a pretty clumsy challenge, which concedes a free kick there from Al Rubai, right under the referee's nose.
Yeah, you could see it coming an absolute mile off as soon as Malcolm gets that touch. You know that Al Rubai's completely mistimed it, and it's a free kick in a really good area for Al Hilal.
And we are going to get that change now. And Damien Lowe, well, he did his best to try to continue, but if you've got a rib injury, it's difficult, isn't it? It does rather look as if that's the problem.
Yeah, and it's such a problem, it affects everywhere. You know, it's the centre of your body, so any sort of injury in your torso, there's nothing you can do about it. It's so unfortunate for him.
Yeah, breathing's painful enough, isn't it, with an injury like that? So here comes the change. Al-Qaidi comes on. He's got a decent amount of experience as well. Mohamed Al-Qaidi, it's his 59th appearance in the Saudi Pro League. Milinkovic-Savic, Malcolm and Ruben Neves near the ball. They've certainly got options here, Al Hilal, as they look to double their lead. And Milinkovic-Savic with a beauty of a free kick. It's a perler of a curler. What a goal for 2-0. A stunning dead ball strike.
An absolutely brilliant finish, and I praised him earlier because I think he's been really aggressive in the way that he wants to add to the attack today. We know he's got that quality on the ball, but it was really interesting. One, I thought initially it suits the left footer in Malcolm. Look at that, the dip, the whip to get it over the wall and back under. And Neves as well, you see he comes out of the situation and just sits in the eye line of the goalkeeper, jumping up and down. But even so, I don't think the goalkeeper gets anywhere near it. Even if he does get a full look at it, it's a wonderful free kick.
What a lovely goal that was. 12th of the season in all competitions for the Serbian midfielder. That's equalling his goal tally from the whole of last season already. And here they come again, hungry for more, and that's an anxious moment there, right on the edge of the penalty area for Al Kholoud, and it's a yellow card for Al Rabai. That's not his first foul, and neither is it his first foul in the last couple of minutes. He paid a high price for his last one, conceding that free kick from which Al Hilal have just scored. And this challenge, well, it was right on the edge of the box.
It was, and I think by the look of that, the challenge is outside the box.
Just he's clattering into Caio Cesar.
He's taking a massive, massive risk, but you see there's no doubt now that Cesar is outside of the box initially with the challenge and goes into it. I'm just thinking he'll probably be asking his VAR, the assistants, just to double check the referee, but Al Rabai is putting his team into all sorts of danger.
Well, it could hardly have been closer, could it really, without being inside the penalty area? So to a certain extent they've dodged one there.
This is interesting though, it's a tough angle. It suits probably the left footer in the sense if you go in for goal, but still the angle's not great, and Neves is over the ball at the minute, so is it more towards trying to find someone else in the box?
Minimum of 8 additional minutes here at the end of this first half.
Had a lot of stoppages, the goals, substitutions, obviously Low going down a couple of times as well.
It's not great, is it, if you're an Alok Dude player and you look across to the technical area at that moment. Another 8 minutes at least to get through before the break. Ruben Neves is taking control of this situation. We've seen him deliver a pinpoint free kick onto the head of Marcos Leonardo in the 9-0 win against Al Fateh. Tello. Malcolm. Tambakti. It's an awkward bounce and Marcos Leonardo was there. The keeper beaten by the bounce of the ball. 2 quick goals late in the first half, and suddenly Al Hilal racing into a 3-0 lead. Wow, this is all a little bit more by luck than judgment initially. Tambakti, I think he does well. He's probably trying to head that back across, but Leonardo just making 100% sure. It's actually Tambakti, sorry. Now, just in that slow, was he offside? Who knows? But I don't mind that by Leonardo. The fact that he's following it up and just making sure that that one goes in the back of the net. It'll be interesting just to see if they check this. Well, indeed they are. Having a good look at it in the VAR room. Marcos Leonardo celebrating for now, just waiting for official confirmation one way or the other. But what form he is in, Marcos Leonardo, and well, it was a gift of an opportunity for him, but he was in the right place at the right time to take it.
You absolutely have to be, and it's one of the jobs as a forward. In terms of being in the right place at the right time, people think it happens by accident, but it doesn't. It's just if Al-Tambakti started that run a little bit early. You just see here, it's hard to see from this angle, but obviously the VAR, they've got,
it's tight, isn't it?
All the technology, all the lines, but it's very, very tight, and it's
split-second stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Al-Zabdani, isn't it, as well, that he's up against. So it's just whether he's kept in line with Al-Zabdani, Al-Tambakti, or whether he's gone that little bit early, adding to the more extra time.
The goal is good. Well, it's fraction of a second stuff, and from what we saw there, it looked like he was just onside.
Yeah, just about. It was ever so close, but I don't think you can say that Al Hilal don't deserve to be 3 up. They've been the aggressors. They've gone forward more, and despite in the early stage of the first half, Al Hilal trying to do the same, they've dropped deeper and deeper and deeper into their defensive positions.
Well, he scored in each of the last 7 league games now, Marcos Leonardo. And 8 goals in 4.5 matches since the restart.
I love the fact that he's really stepped up, taking that central role. Completely different player to Mitrovic, but nonetheless he's getting goals, and that's the most important thing.
Ball got away from Aidal Muwalad. Milinkovic-Savic. He's got such great vision, hasn't he, Milinkovic-Savic? He just knows what's going on around him, and he's got the quality to just lay the ball wherever he wishes.
He directs play with his passes as well. He never plays it to a player's feet. It's always in front, as if to say that's where you need to be. It's a really good way to play.
Yeah, it opens the game up for others, doesn't it? Helps to conduct the attacking play for Al Hilal. Well, we're deep in added time here, added time which can't end soon enough for Al Okdoud. In it comes from Al Harbi. Oh, that really would have been spectacular had he managed to get hold of that properly.
It shows the quality of him that he's disappointed with this, and you see it's a tough one. It's coming back across him on the volley. Just starts to lean back Milinkovic-Savic, and that's why you see he gets underneath the ball completely.
Well, it was in added time at the end of the first half that it all went wrong for Al Fateh in that 9-0 thumping. Here comes Marcos Leonardo into Malcolm, and now Milinkovic-Savic. It strikes Al Rubai, and it's all hands on deck as Marcos Leonardo goes for what would have been spectacular.
Well, he's smiling, because when you're that confident, you will try things like that. It's such high tariff to try and dip it into the net, and this is just aside from earlier the confirmation that Al-Tambakti did keep himself onside.
But just of course is enough. And the keeper at the bounce, taking the ball agonisingly out of reach for Paulo Vitor, the goalkeeper. Al Rubai away to the far side. The pressure is relentless here late in the half. This is Koulibaly getting in on the act.
Just kept going, didn't he? It opened up for him, so why not?
Hassan Al-Tambakti with drilling that header into the ground.
And it's an interesting angle. This will show us better. Was it going in? I'm not sure, but I'm in Marcos Leonardo's camp just to make double sure. The last thing you want is to let that drop and it fly past the post, and as a forward you've got to tap them in.
He was never going to allow that to drop, was he? Well, they're happy again, and the disappointment of Monday's result against Al Qadisiyah is just disappearing in the rearview mirror for Al Hilal. Heading back to winning ways, it would seem. 3-0 up here. We're not quite done in the first half. That Saviour Godwin.
You see that, it's just coming together, isn't it, with Al Harbi trying to win the ball but getting more of Godwin's foot.
Well, until the 43rd minute, I think Stefan Thomas would have been quite happy at 1-0 with his team. It's just slipped away from them late in the half, but as I mentioned before, Al Fateh conceded 2 goals in added time at the end of the first half, so a 2-0 deficit suddenly became 4 in that thumping of a match. There's a comfortable catch in the end for Bonu.
That's the thing with teams like Al Hilal, when there's so much quality in there, they can turn it on in a split second, and as you say, next thing you know, instead of being 1-0 down, you're 3 down.
Here comes Malcolm and the very timely interception made by Mohammed Al Saeed. Basogok. Out of reach for Al Sabdani. Koulibaly for Al Hilal. Caio Cesar. Away from the fullback. Away from the substitute, and almost squeezing it in at the near post, beaten away by Paulo Vitor. More exciting play by the debutant there, Caio Cesar.
Love it, and you can hear his teammates, I'm not sure exactly who it was, saying, "Go Caio, go." And that's why, because he's got that ability, he's got the speed, he's got the technicality on the ball to take players on and make things happen.
Al Oqdoud just need to hear this half-time whistle. João Cancelo. It was Koulibaly trying to get on the end of that delivery. Al Oqdoud with a man down right on the edge of the penalty area. I think it's Al Muwallad. Home crowd howling for a decision from the referee.
I'm not sure, I think it was Al Zabdani, wasn't he? Flies out, I'm not sure how that's not a foul.
Cesar was on the end of it, but he's back up on his feet. There's a half-time whistle, and it's been an excellent first half for Al Hilal, capped really by the magnificent free kick from Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. A debut goal to get the ball rolling from Caio Cesar as early as the 4th minute. Marcos Leonardo continuing his excellent goal-scoring run in added time at the end of the half, and Al Hilal bouncing back from that defeat in their last match. At the break, it's Al Hilal 3, Al Oqdoud 0.
They say the soul never changes. It's the one thing that stays constant. While what we see around us may change and grow, the feeling of where it came will always stay the same. So come, we have much more to share. Malaysia, truly Asia.
Singapore, ready or not?
Singapore, ready or not?
Oh, fantastic rally.
The action confirm shot. Confirm shot.
What? Oh, down the line. The riskier of the 2 shots, she went for it.
Singapore smash.
How on earth does he do this?
They say the soul never changes. It's the one thing that stays constant. While what we see around us may change and grow, the feeling of where it came will always stay the same. So come, we have much more to share. Malaysia, truly Asia.
Third game. Odo to serve. 1 long.
Women's final beginning here. Talked about the dominance of Chinese women across all levels, but here at the champions level,
Let 1 long.
the fact that we have no Chinese players involved here in this final, we have got a new name on the champions honour roll guaranteed here, and it'll be a Japanese woman, we know that, but who will it be? Satsuki Odo in her first final at this level, or Miwa Harimoto also in her maiden final at this tier of the World Table Tennis pyramid of events? Odo through there. Fraser, so many things to get through here to discuss. Just interested your thoughts. The fact they've met in a final as well, relatively recently, and Odo's continued rise since then, what your feelings might be, for this one. Harimoto won that quite easily, defending her title in Tunis. The contender stopped 4-0. Get the feeling like it could be a bit closer here, this one.
I think it will be. I mean, I've been so pleasantly surprised by the explosivity, the dynamism of Odo. Two right-handed, shake-handed attacking players, so we're going to see reoccurring themes throughout the entirety of this match. I'm more interested in who's in the final rather than the styles of the players here. It's going to be difficult to generalise a tactic.
Devastating series of cuts from Odo.
This is unbelievable here from the 20-year-old. She was training with a man of French flair, Esteban Dor. We had a little stroll in the training hall, didn't we?
Yeah. The French talents been warming up the players this week.
And it was interesting to see Miwa Harimoto having a more relaxed knock with her father.
Yeah, with you. So, we've got him on the bench here as they turn around. This is the case when two players from the same country go head-to-head, no coaches in place. And it's commonplace.
8-4.
Liking the serves here from Odo. She looks like she's going to play the shovel serve, but ends up just playing a more classic pendulum style.
It's been the foundation of these fantastic performances from Odo. Variation and quality on serve, giving her the opportunity to put these attacks into play. Just carrying on where she's left off at the moment from the week. Game points, 6 of them. And again,
11-4.
biggest final of her career, first final at this level, and just, it's like she's played a whole clutch of them, the way she started there. Satsuki Odo takes the opener at a canter in the end.
For the full effect.
6.
Yeah, Odo more compact with that kill. And her technique.
His backhand is crazy good here. Nice serve as well to set it up. She knows Miwa's not going to push that one, gets ready to get over that ball. So much racket speed.
9.
Committed everything, put all the chips down.
But the ace drawn, the trump card. Look at that. Left the door open and burgled.
5-9.
4 game points.
How on earth?
7.
She got lower than a snake's belly to play this counter.
Such an effective swipe as well for Hermannstadt. Look at this.
Oh man.
10-7.
I don't know what she apologised for. Did it clip the top edge of the racket, perhaps?
Another one saved.
10.
The service here as well. That service has served us so well. Here we go. Is it going to be? No. And the most gorgeous contact there to take game 2 eventually. It is Hermannstadt, the 3rd seed, who hits back here, taking game 2 of the final, 11-9.
Eight, 7. 8-4.
Astute to that one. Satsuki Odo was switched. After she switches, Miwa Haramoto will most likely then try to stand in the middle of the table to play a backhand.
8-all, please. Eight, 9.
There's that pivot, keen to take the forehand big and bold.
You can't build a house on sand, and the service by her standards was poor. Allowed Miwa Haramoto in straight away.
10-8.
And ever so well here, Haramoto trailed 7-3.
10-9.
It's going to be another game separated by a margin of 2 points.
Again, same again.
Game
for the 3rd seed.
Haramoto.
Losing the opener, she's taken the next 2 here.
From mid-distance there, calibrating that shot very, very well.
You were making a point watching in the training hall earlier, I think, just how she's happy to go into those trades in the hall.
Yeah, I mean, that one was taken early, but sometimes she lets the ball drop even more where she can fade the shot.
8-6. 7-9.
I thought she needed that because Haramoto is threatening there to wipe out again. You're talking about a 4-point lead, 7-3 in the previous game for Odo. And 2 in front again.
She's adjusting her service position so that she won't get caught out wide forehand as easy.
8-9.
That's a clever bit of play from the comprehensive Miwa Haramoto.
Well, mentioned the deficit that Haramoto overturned in game 3. She's been behind for most of game 4 as well. She's showing as a 16-year-old here these kind of gritty qualities as well she possesses to turn games around. Talked about that mature head on the very young shoulders. But twice! Odo there, backhand side, starring here under the Infinity Arena lights.
Slinging it. It's so good from Odo.
She's first to game point this time. This final really threatening to catch fire.
10-all.
But again, a bit of a poor service from Odo. I mean, look, it's not that obviously long. Someone who's an intermediate player wouldn't be able to sense that that's attackable. Saves game point, Miwa Haramoto.
Now the outside of the table there. They're putting on a show here, aren't they? For this Montpellier crowd, for the worldwide audience. These two Japanese starlets. Shot making here of the highest quality.
So clever, that dainty little dink there from Odo. That retouch. That was clutch. She saves a game point.
My, oh my.
12-11.
I mean, what we're seeing defensively here from Satsuki Odo is something that I didn't know she had in the locker.
It's not just defence though, is it, Fraser? I mean, it's much more than that.
Playing attackingly as can be from such a defensive position.
Second game point. Hermannstadt misses out with the receipt.
Dude, at the moment in real time, will have slipped to 14th in the table. They're on 15 points. Sorry, yeah, 14th in the table. They're on 15 points, just one above the relegation zone. Al Oraba 16th on 14. Al Riyad on 14 as well. It's very, very close at the bottom end of the table. All to play for between now and the end of the season. And Al Hilal will be up onto 46, 3 clear of Al Ittihad, who play tomorrow. Al Nassr doing their bit yesterday. They're just trying to get a run going and collect the points, hoover up as many points as possible, and hope those above them start to stumble. And of course last week they did, so you never know. And we are halfway through the season, so plenty of football still to be played.
Yeah, there's still a lot of games to be played. There'll be surprises, but as you say, for Al Nassr, for them, it's all they can do is the job in front of them. They've got to rely on others to drop points, but all they need to focus on is themselves, and as you say, hope for the best. And in terms of what happened last week, in terms of both the sides above them dropping points, they'll be hoping for more of the same.
We're going to see Diego Souza Ferreira come on at the start of the second half here, I think, for Al Dude. It does rather look as if they are about to make a change. It's a difficult 45 minutes ahead for them. So Diego is going to come on. He's a left back. Rubai there, who had a difficult final few minutes to the first half. Conceded a couple of free kick which led to the second goal, and then almost gave a penalty away. There's Diego getting ready to come on. Mohamed Al-Jahif as well is waiting to come on. The attacking midfield player has come off the bench 10 times already this season.
Big decisions, and it's one of those at half-time as a player you never want to be brought off, but when you're 3-0 down, there's no argument to be had really, and the manager, Thomas Stefanak, obviously feels that he needs to do that to change their fortunes.
So Diego's going to come on to replace Mohamed Al-Said, who's the left back. And Mohamed Al-Jahif will come on to replace Ibrahima Kone, who is their main striker.
It's strange, actually. And as an ex-centre-forward myself, I can see that Kone wasn't involved, but actually the argument is he didn't have a lot of service, so it's a difficult one. Maybe that might spell maybe a little bit of a change in formation. We don't know, but I think it was a very, very tough 45 minutes for Kone to try and influence the game.
So the double change being made by Stepian Thomas at the start of the second half for the visiting side. There's confirmation of it. It's turned into a damage limitation exercise, hasn't it, for Al Uqdoud? They'll be thinking about that goal difference now.
Yeah, exactly, and as we mentioned, we saw Al Hilal against Al Fatah, and how many goals they want, how aggressive they can be, and they know Al Hilal how important goal difference is to them, so they won't stop at 3. There's no chance of that. They'll want to add more to the tally in the second half and feel that they've got the ability to do so.
And our Romanian referee, Marian Barbu, gets us underway at the start of the second half. Al Hilal, by the way, playing in their 3rd strip today. They're giving that one an outing in front of the home crowd. That's why they're not in their usual home strip of blue. And Al Uqdoud all in white. This is Khalidou Koulibaly. A reminder of the teams going into today's match. Al-Bulayi and Lodi missing at the back for Al Hilal. Al-Habi and Al-Tambakti coming in. But there's a familiar look about much of the rest of the team. There is a debut though for Caio Cesar, 20-year-old Brazilian, who scored in the 4th minute of the match, and Marcos Leonardo in such good goal-scoring form, adding the 3rd shortly before the interval as well. So a couple of changes there for Al Hilal today at the start of the match.
Positive thing for them is as well, with the misses, they're still winning 3-0. That's still very positive.
Yeah, Al-Zabdani and Al-Rabai, the captain, coming into the team today. Al Hilal getting onto the front foot, and Knowledge Masona as well. There was a player brought in to the starting 11. Ball not quite falling for Al-Habi there. Ibrahima Kone had returned up front for Al Uqdoud, having been suspended last week, but taken off at half-time. Mohamed Al-Jahif on for him. Here comes Salim Al-Dawsari, the captain of Al Hilal, striding forward and trying to set up Cesar for what would have been a second goal. Al-Tambakti venturing forward there up towards the edge of the box. This is Salim Al-Dawsari. No joy for Malcolm, but Cancelo still got it. Al Hilal with the player down, and the referee is going to stop the game to check on him. It's Marcos Leonardo.
That's a player that they won't want to see down, and let's have a closer look at this. Oh, another late one.
Not a great challenge by Naif Asiri. It's a painful start to the second half for Leonardo.
Yeah, it is, and hopefully it won't mean that he has to be taken off. The medical staff are on and the magic spray's out, so hopefully that will do its job.
Yeah, because of course they're missing Alexander Mitrovic at the moment. It's the 5th game in a row in the league that he has missed. A few words there with Ruben Neves. Salim Al-Dawsari there with the captain's armband on for Al Hilal. Courtney, we talk a lot about the foreign players, you know, the star players that come into the league and come into teams like Al Hilal. But it strikes me that somebody like Salim Al-Dawsari, for example, is as important, if not more in many respects, to a club like Al Hilal for his contribution and the way that he helps to lead the club.
Yeah, he's a leader, that's why he's obviously got the armband on for a start, but you see just at the start of that second half there, does so well. He's got a wonderful turn of pace, he's a great technician, and it's nice to have that mix of, yes, the players coming into the league, but obviously players that are from here, that have played here. I think that's so important as well, to have that homegrown nature within the league too.
This is Al-Rabai. Al-Harbi beaten to it there, and collected by Godwin, and the flag goes up straight away.
Right decision for me. In terms of offside decision, normally we wait to see what happens, but when it's that obvious, the assistant can flag it's this one there, no doubt. And Godwin's saying no, but he's also got to have the presence of mind not to play that ball. It's very clear it's offside.
It's been a quiet day so far for the Moroccan international. Bono in goal for Al Hilal.
Thinking about it, I can't remember him actually having a save to make.
4 clean sheets in 15 league matches before today, but maybe hoping for another one in this game. Rather busier for Paulo Vitor so far. Next league match, by the way, for Al Hilal is away from home. A week tomorrow, they're facing Damak. The next home game against Al Riyadh on the 14th of February. They got an absolute whopper of a game on the 22nd of February on Saturday, away to Al Ittihad. So Feb the 22nd, mark that one in your diaries. Sergej Milinkovic-Savic now, scorer of a wonderful free kick late in the first half. It's Al Darsari taking on Al Zabdani. He's got some support, and Al Hilal won't be too unhappy to settle for a corner.
It's nice intricate play though, isn't it? The movement, the little triangles, the 1 and 2 touch passing, the Al Darsari there, there's a little flick, Cruyff flicking behind him. It's wonderful to watch when it's at full flow.
And it's the captain who, as usual, will send the corner over. Basagol, again happy to chase, and very quickly closed down by Al-Harbi. It's Milinkovic-Savic stepping in with a challenge on Al-Jahif. Hussein Al-Zabdani with the throw. Al-Rabai. It's Diego Ferreira, the half-time substitute, quick to get the game moving. Little flicked header on by Musona. Flag up on the far side. So this is the 4th match these two teams have played in the last 2 seasons, the 2 seasons that Al Uqdoud have been up into the Saudi Pro League following promotion. The previous 3 before today have finished 3-0 to Al Hilal, and that's where we are at the moment.
I would say, if I was to...
You're not convinced it's going to be 3-0 by the end of the game?
Absolutely not, and I think there's so much that goal difference means to Al Hilal right now that they're not just going to be passive in this second half and be happy with the 3 points. The goals are also equally as important. So, yes, it's been maybe a little bit of a passive start to the second half, but we just know how quickly Al Hilal can turn it on, how quickly they can turn up the tempo, and we'll see that sooner rather than later.
That's why I mentioned the 3-0 thing now, because I'm not quite sure how long it's going to be at 3-0. But here they come now, venturing forward. Al-Rabai swiftly across, good defending from him to deny Salem Al-Dalsari. But Al Hilal onto the front foot straight away here in the opening minutes of this second half. Dalsari once again floated in. Malcolm goes for it. Marcos Leonardo. The attempted overhead straight into the gloves of Vitor. Up towards Xavier Godwin, who's not having any joy there. Up against Koulibaly.
Neves doing ever so well just to sweep up the bits, and that's the thing you see with Al Hilal, even when they're out of possession. Doesn't happen a lot, but they're so quick to want to win it back.
This is Cesar rolling it in towards his fellow countryman Malcolm. Musona turned into trouble, but it fell kindly. Now it's Al-Muwalad for Al-Abdoud. And Al-Dawsri, who's seen plenty of the ball here in the early stages of the second period. Nicely done, good save, and Marcos Leonardo is there to pick up the loose pieces. He's there in a flash, spilt by the goalkeeper, and suddenly it's 4-0. Marcos Leonardo's second goal of the game, both of them from about a yard out.
Both of his goals have been real poachers' goals. It doesn't matter how they go in, it just matters that they do hit the back of the net. But again, Al-Dawsri does so well. The weight of that pass, by the way, is absolutely incredible. The little reverse ball into Al-Harbi, who drives it across. But yet again, Marcos Leonardo in the right place at the right time. There's not too much that Vitor can do about that. Marcos Leonardo gratefully takes that one.
Well, Moteb Al-Harbi again involved in a goal, as he was with the opener.
I think that one was a little bit more deliberate that time, though.
Well, it's all going Marcos Leonardo's way at the moment, isn't it? He's in that rich vein of form, and every time he touches the ball, it seems to end up in the back of the net.
Yeah, I was just thinking he's in a purple patch, and
quite literally.
In the purple kit as well. But I think that's one of those, as a forward, like you say, when you're there and you're scoring goals and you're confident, everything just seems to drop for you. Everything you touch turns to goal. But also, sometimes the harder that you work, the luckier you get.
This is Moteb Al-Harbi sending it in towards Leonardo. He scored a hat-trick in the recent home match against Al Fatehs. Sniffing around for one now.
We said, didn't we, as well? 3-0. We didn't think it was going to last long, and we were right.
Glad I mentioned it when I did now. Al-Muwalad away to the far side. Comfortably dealt with, and Bono with the throw away to Joao Cancelo. And Cancelo seems to have settled in nicely to life with Al Hilal. Something of a nomadic existence for him the last couple of years. He had that loan spell for Manchester City at Bayern, and then he was at Barcelona. I mean, great places to be, great teams to play for, but just seemed to be moving around a lot. Maybe he's found somewhere he can settle for a little while now. Here he is, Joao Cancelo, looking to make another important contribution for his team. Official scoreboard there,
just in case people have forgotten.
Still on the attack, hungry for more. Every goal counts. We mentioned it at the bottom end of the table, but you're quite right, Courtney. It's going to potentially matter a lot at the top end as well. Certainly at the moment, it's neck and neck, nip and tuck between Al Hilal and Al Ittihad. Just goal difference between them going into this round of matches.
Al Hilal, as it stands, is so handsome, but got a long way to go still till the end of the season.
Diego Ferreira, the half-time sub. Cancelo. Malcolm. Away from Al-Muwalad, and still Rubai was there to get a toe in as Neves floats it in, chested across by Milinkovic-Savic.
Well, he knows, I think he's touching his head as if to say, I should have headed it back across. There wasn't enough on the chest pass to find a teammate, but it's a wonderful ball that found Milinkovic-Savic.
Yeah, terrific pass from Neves. He missed a chunk of the season, didn't he, with that knee injury?
Yeah, but he does it that often, Neves, that we're almost not impressed by it anymore.
Jave just trying to get into the game a little bit here, having come off the bench. It's back with Knowledge Masona. Al-Jahif trying to find Godwin. Maybe a free kick there. Challenged by the substitute, Mahana Al-Qaidi. Champions 4 of the last 5 seasons, Al Hilal. Certainly wouldn't bet against them, making it 5 out of 6. And the flag up straight away on the far side against Basagog, who's trying his luck on the left-hand side.
Yeah, it's just one of those thankless tasks when you're a forward. You sat right in your defensive shape, and you've almost got to make something out of nothing, and it can be very frustrating.
A lot of space on the far side. Al-Dawsri with the ball in, lovely flowing football that so nearly resulted in Milinkovic-Savic stroking it into the back of the net.
Yeah, nearly there, he had options. If he did get to the ball, he could have shot himself, could have squared it to a teammate, and it's at full flow like that and so fluid for Al Hilal. It's so pleasing on the eye.
That's good play there by Knowledge Masona. He's got a free kick as well. So far this season, Al Oqdoud going into this match, 4 wins, 3 draws and 10 defeats. And it won't be much in it either way as to whether they stay up or not. Probably by the end of the season, they don't have the look of a team who are going to pull away from the thicket of sides hovering near the trapdoor.
No, although, you know, at this moment I will say that, you know, games against the likes of Al Hilal probably are not going to define their season, so they wouldn't have come into this game with any great expectation. But as you say, I think it's going to go right down to the wire for them.
Yeah, 3 away wins, 4-2 at Al Fateh, the bottom of the table team, 3-2 at Al Weda, another team near the bottom, 2-0 to Al Riyadh recently. Yeah, free kick here as well. Godwin on the end of that challenge. From Hassan Al-Tambakti.
He seems almost shell-shocked, Al-Tambakti, as if to say, there's no way in the world this was a foul. And he does get the ball, but the problem is studs up.
He got a bit of everything, didn't he?
Yeah, that's the issue.
So an attacking situation here for Al Oqdoud.
Gonna need the ball first.
Quite some debate. Basagog there just ushering Salim Al-Dawsri away from the ball. And it will be Basagog to take it, the Cameroon international. They signed from Ankara-Gucu in Turkish football at the start of the season. Whipped in and headed away by Milinkovic-Savic. It's a decent shot, and so nearly a goal for Al Oqdoud. It's the best we've seen so far, and it's Mohammed Al-Jahif.
It's so close, isn't it? Comes off the side of the woodwork. It's got Bunu sprawling across his goal. Goalkeeper still hasn't had a save to make, but that's the closest that Al Oqdoud have come.
Yeah, a really good effort, wasn't it? Little reminder, it finished Al-Faya 0, Al-Tawoun 0 in the early kick-off today. Al-Attifaq and Al-Shabaab kicking off in around 10 or 11 minutes' time. In the final one of today's 3 games on the slate. Here's that effort again.
He does so well. You see what he's trying to do. Opens up his body and his hips. It's just not enough curl on the ball to bring it back inside the post, but it's a real good effort.
Yeah, he was one of the goal scorers in their 4-2 away win over Al Fateh early in the season. They also got a 1-1 draw away earlier in the campaign at Al Ahly as well, which is a result not to be sniffed at. But finding it hard to live with Al Hilal today, as most teams do in the Saudi League. This is Al Dawsri, and then the little flick forward from Leonardo. Milinkovic-Savic, Marcos Leonardo. Just getting a boot to it was a Asiri.
It's a good job, because
it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
See what they're trying to do. Al Dawsri again going up the left-hand side. He's been so bright today.
We're about to have another substitution here, with the right back Hussein Al Zabdani going off, and Abdulaziz Al Hatila coming on to replace him. He had 6 minutes against Al Khalij the other day. Scored a goal this season as well, Al Hatila. He's an attacking midfield player. Got a goal in the King's Cup first round. Here comes the change with a great reception for Caio Cesar as his debut comes to an end, and there was the crowning moment of it in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, it's the perfect start, isn't it? Everything you'd want in a debut, the goal especially, but his all-around play has been impressive, but managing his minutes, just coming into the side, I think it's a good time to bring him off.
Almost midway through the second half. Here's Milinkovic-Savic. Nasser Al Dawsri, the player, by the way, who came on a few moments ago. He's appeared in every one of the last 5 matches in the league now, starting a couple of them. Looks a useful addition to the squad, doesn't he, Caio Cesar, on the evidence we've seen today?
Yeah, he does. He's good with the ball at his feet in terms of, as a ball carrier, wants to take players on. He's got that little bit of skill and flair that you'd expect, and works really hard as well. So as I say, I think just coming into the side, bringing him off, managing his minutes, and I think we'll see a lot more of him this season.
That's a delightful flick from Milinkovic-Savic. It's Marcos Leonardo. He was trying to set up his captain there, Al Dawsri.
He just didn't quite have the pace, did he, to get away from the defender, Marcos Leonardo, but say the flick into him was wonderful.
Neves picking out João Cancelo. It's Malcolm moving in from the near side. Into Leonardo. There's a lovely flow about the way Al Hilal are advancing here. Al Harbi's ball in, collected by Milinkovic-Savic. Third home match in a row. They've scored at least 4 goals. Got 4 against Al Wehda last time out. And as we mentioned before, 9 in the game. A record equalling 9. Here they come again, hungry for number 5 today. Malcolm. Cancelo. This is Koulibaly. Completely dominant here. Ruben Neves. Heading towards the last 20 minutes. There's a Siri getting the ball away, and it's a tough old job to be an Al Dude defender in a match like this.
Yeah, it really is. You see the frustration there of a Siri, the shake of the head, and it's wave after wave. It's almost like a training practice where you're purposely a player down, you've got to defend for your life, but it's so difficult doing that for 70 minutes as they are. Still got 20 minutes left to do it.
That's Knowledge Masona to the near side, and now Diego. Al Dude have a corner. Basagog's keen to get on with it. Well, they've found their voice again, haven't they? The home crowd after that last gasp defeat the other day against Al Qadisiyah. In from Basagog, and he's sliced out of play off the boot of Malcolm.
You feel it'd only be a consolation at this point, but probably their best opportunity, Al Dude, in terms of set pieces to try and find a goal.
Take two. A little bit wayward from Diego.
It's a big opportunity there in terms of it's got to be absolutely perfect when you're that far out. It's coming out to you and it's got to get through bodies and just doesn't catch it the way that he needs to.
You're right though, Courtney, it's not games like this that make the difference really for teams like Al Dude. It's more about the sort of matches they've got coming up against teams like Al Ettifaq.
It's about those that are around you, isn't it, to try and not just get the 3 points, but then you're taking points off the others around you as well. So this won't be the definition of their season for Al Dude, I'm very sure of that.
Here comes Malcolm now for Al Hilal. Trying to tee it up. They were looking for Leonardo, who of course is on a hat-trick.
Yeah, they're almost queuing up at that point, weren't they? Al Hilal, I think Malcolm in an ideal world probably wanted to try and get that back across earlier, but it was good defending that stopped him from doing so.
Well, we're inside the last 20 minutes of the game as Salim Al-Dawsari prepares to take this corner. For once, an easy enough catch there for Paulo Vitor. But again, even when they do get the ball, they're just not keeping hold of it, are they, at all?
No, it's difficult because there is a balance of, it's an Al Hilal corner, they've sent players up, so you want to try and exploit the space that they've left, so I understand that. But if it's not on, you've got to give yourself a little bit of respite and try and keep the ball.
Here's Milinkovic-Savic. Some of his play's been absolutely majestic today. Good challenge there by Al Rubai. It's a long second half for him and his colleagues as they try to hold Al Hilal at bay, keep the score down. Hassan Al-Tambakti and Khalidou Koulibaly both up for this. To that, just in front of the near post area. Nasser Al-Dawsari, opportunity to clear for Aid Al-Muwalla.
The only thing they might be slightly disappointed with Al Hilal is the fact they've not done better actually from corners. They've had quite a few.
They've not mixed it up very much, have they? They've gone for the same corner almost every time.
Yeah, that front post area that hasn't really worked.
Here's Cancelo. Being tracked by the substitute there, Mohamed Al-Qaidi.
That was a lovely little
wasn't
piece of skill, wasn't it? The little Cruyff flick, the nutmeg.
Oh, it so nearly came off.
That is a joy to watch.
Ruben Neves. Touched away by keeper Vitor. This is Godwin. And some space for Masona. Al-Jahaif. But again, Al-Harbi covering the ground well and able to tidy up. Haven't really broken into a sweat, have they, for a long time, the home defence in this match?
No, not at all. I think it's been so comfortable. Cancelo has hardly played in defence, to be quite honest. He's added to the midfield so much, and down that right-hand side trying to provide opportunities into the box.
It's nicely done. Real threat here. Salem Al-Dawsri looking to tee it up. Blocked by Al-Rubai.
I'd like to see Al-Dawsri get a goal today. I think his all-round play deserves it. It really would put the cherry on the top for him.
João Cancelo. Couldn't find a way past Al-Muwallad. Knowledge Masona. Just trying to work it away from the traffic a little bit into some space on the far side. Al-Harbi swiftly across. He's had a decent game, hasn't he, Motib Al-Harbi, in for Renan Lodi today, who's injured.
Yeah, he has, and Renan Lodi for me is such an important part of this team normally, but as you say, Al-Harbi has slotted in very well. Twice he's been involved in one of the goals, well, two of the goals rather, so he'll be very happy with his performance.
That was Al-Hatila. Diego's layoff, and it was always skewing further and further away from the goal there from the moment it left the boot of Basagol, who was trying to add to the 4 goals that he's scored so far this season, but most of the attacking play has been up at the other end. And that's the only goal we've seen so far in the second half.
It's the little reverse ball by Al-Dawsri in the build-up for me that's brilliant. As you mentioned there, Al-Harbi, he's getting forward, goes for the shot. And luckily for Leonardo, he's in the right place at the right time.
Koulibaly away to Ruben Neves. Nasser Al-Dawsri. Cancelo. Free kick conceded for the challenge on Aid Al-Muwallad. Masona. Al-Harbi's there again. They still haven't conceded a goal to Al Oqdoud since Al Oqdoud were promoted. The silverware won by Al Oqdoud over the years. The high point has been twice they have been the champions of the second division, and that's the 3rd tier in Saudi football. As recently as 2021 they were the champions of the 3rd tier. They had 2 seasons in the first division, tier 2. Then won promotion and managed to just about stay up last season. So mission accomplished last season, finishing just above the drop zone. And they are not in the relegation zone at the moment either in their second season. Lovely bit of skill there from Malcolm. Sturdy challenge on Sergej Milinkovic-Savic by Diego Ferreira.
Savic. It was a challenge that seemed robust, to say the least. Gets the ball, but also gets a lot of the player there, Diego.
Roughly 10 minutes plus added time. And what's even more amazing when you think about Al Hilal the last couple of seasons, Courtney, because they had Neymar on their books. He's now gone back to Brazil with Santos, and unfortunately for him, of course, he wasn't really able to play very much, hardly at all, in fact, really. But when you think about the quality at his best of a player like Neymar, they had him on their books and were unable to use him, yet actually they've still been absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, he was the marquee signing, wasn't he? He was the big one, and unfortunate for him with that ACL injury that he couldn't appear more than he did. But as you say, not having him and still performing to the level that they have Al Hilal, it's an incredible achievement.
Well, as it turned out, you could argue because of what they went on to achieve anyway, they didn't really need him, Neymar. And he's heading back to Brazil, and Santos. And the flag has gone up again. Nearly every time they venture forward, Alok, they get caught offside.
Yeah, it's been disappointing for them going forward. And as I say, when you're up against a team like Al Hilal, when you do go forward, you've got to make the most of it, and they just haven't done that, Alok Dude.
And Muwallad conceding the free kick. I wonder how much added time we'll get.
To be fair, I know there's been the substitutes and the one goal, but I don't think there's that much to add on.
Flick on by Malcolm, and then back in by Leonardo, very nearly reaching Milinkovic-Savic. Referee thought about the free kick, but happy enough to go with the advantage as El Rubai goes high and long, and Basogol chases after it, up against Al Tambakti here.